I'm fine. Okay, so this is part of a fellow in training. I'm a fellow in training of the Young African Leadership Initiative, and part of the requirements for certification is to actually come up with a project and execute it yourself. So this also coincided with the period when I was in isolation from COVID-19, which enabled me to come up with this idea. And the name Volunteer Better is actually from Better Volunteer, which is essentially the aim to improve volunteer productivity across non-profits in Africa. So this gave birth to the name Volunteer Better. Okay, so I've worked with a number of non-profits, and I have experience in the non-profit sector, and I realized that throughout the number of years I've worked in these sectors, I've come across a gap in volunteer mismanagement. So I noticed that a lot of organizations, or a lot of startups actually fail because of this gap. I mean, if you have a set goal for your organization, you need volunteers to actually carry out this task for you and all of that, and you not properly engage them, or you don't properly give them the orientation they need, or you don't recruit them properly, they tend to actually fail. So this was one of the reasons why I came up with the idea of Volunteer Better. Yes. Okay, so for a project of this nature, one of the first things that you have to do is to develop a concept note. And a concept note is basically like a proposal. And then this really consists of your problem statement to start with. You need to find out who your target audience are. You need to know your beneficiaries are. You need to know who your stakeholders are. You need to know who your partners are. You need to also design this curriculum. So you need to have a design for the workshop itself. So you need to know your start, your end dates. You also need to get your facilitators on board. Then you need to get a team. So you need to have a team for this kind of project. Okay, so for us as a team, one of the highlights was when I submitted an application to Peace First International to get a grant, and I got a feedback from one of them, Clara, and then she said that she found the project very unique, and then she was looking forward to seeing it actually work and to see it on bigger platforms. And this really gave my team members and I a booster, because I mean, it's one thing for you to want to do something, and then one thing for you to see that other people also think is really unique. So this was really the booster we needed to launch the project. Another important highlight was when we were able to get Stuart Garland, who is the program manager for Volunteer Island. They're based in Dublin, and he was able to facilitate one of our sessions. And I remember how he told me categorically that the fee for this kind of work was about 150 euros, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't have 150 euros. Like, we are from Africa, we don't really know. So, and then he said that okay, he wanted to know what we could do in exchange for that favor. So I went to my team members and I asked them what they thought, and then they gave different ideas, of which it took me about 7 days to reply him, because I didn't really know how to articulate my words and my thoughts. So we eventually came up with an idea, and then it was just to ensure that most of our participants attend some of their COVID-19 15 webinar sessions for free. And then he was like, okay, fine, Abigail, we'll do it. And I'm like, oh my God. And then it was on my birthday. So this was like a perfect birthday gift for me. So that was one of the important highlights for my team members and I. Yes. So for me personally, the first challenge I had to deal with was actually allowing my team members to do the work that I had assigned them to do. So because of my experience in the non-profit sector, and because I have had to manage a lot of teams and I usually the team lead, I needed to actually learn to step back and let them do their work. So I needed to overcome that challenge first. Okay. So letting them take ownership of the project as well. So then another challenge I had was some of the facilitators not showing up at the appropriate time. I remember one time we were all logged into the session. I had read the bio and then we didn't find the facilitator, the person had not logged in, and then we tried to call, tried to reach out, but then we just couldn't get, and it was really embarrassing because you can imagine how people were waiting for what next, and they were like, oh my God, we need to do damage control, and they were like, okay, so what do we tell them? So luckily for us, we were able to salvage the situation, and then we were able to reschedule to another time for that particular day, but it was something that we needed to really put. So we ensured that we maintained constant communication with all of the facilitators, even till the point of the session. Okay. Then another challenge we had was the network issues. I mean, I could just be talking and the network just goes blank and all of that. So that really gave us some issues, but we were able to, overcome that, yes. Okay, so I like to say that I have a very wonderful team. These people have taken ownership of the project and they've really filled up the gap even when I wasn't available. There's Adeshola Chibari, who is the protocol and luminary onboarding officer. I mean, she's efficient. She keeps the team locked in together even when I'm not available. She knows how to keep the team working. There is Nduka Chidima. She's really supportive, very sweet, always tries to encourage all of us to get the work done. There's Olusegun, who is very detailed. I mean, Shegun is the one who really looks for the loopholes in every project that you're trying to do. There is also Emmanuel. Emmanuel is really quiet, doesn't talk so much, but would definitely get the job done. Yes, he is our strategist, so just quiet and then gets the job done. So there's also BC. BC is one of the people that I know that her job was really difficult because she was communicating directly with the participants. So she had to do a lot of damage control. She had to, swallow a lot of polite insults from the participants, reassure them, all of that. Then we also have Toyosi, who is also my work colleague, and she was a communications director. She was able to actually get this job done, even though she was busy at work. So I had really, really amazing support from my team members. Okay, so first of all, I'm really grateful to God for this opportunity because it's really helped me to, this is something that I didn't really expect to be this big and this successful. So one of the supports I got was through my mentor, Jennifer Silva-Pierce. Jennifer is the Executive Director for Fountain Initiative for Social Development. She's also the founder of Give Back Nigeria, and she has been very supportive from start to finish, helping me with the planning and execution. And even though she's really busy, she was able to take time out to actually help with this project and everything about the project. Then I also got a grant from Peace First International. They help young people to actually carry out their social impact projects and also provide them with grant opportunities if needed. I also want to appreciate my friend Kayode Alabi, who was with me throughout the entire workshop, entire project, and my friends at 218 and every other person who has supported me during this workshop. Yeah. Okay, this is a really important question because one of the things I learned is that never be afraid to try. So the worst that will happen is you get a no. But if there is something that you really want to do, just go ahead and do it. Never be afraid to actually put yourself out there and try it. Then another thing is when you assign a task to a team member, always trust them enough to actually carry out the tasks that you've assigned to them, and respect them enough to let them do the work, and do not go behind their backs to do the work for them. So that kind of release control, yes. So those two are really important. Huh. Okay. So I would say that I really wish I had understood the volunteer management itself. So you know how going into this project you have experience, but then your knowledge is not so broad. So in the course of the project, I actually had to learn actively from the participants, from the facilitators rather, and this actually helped me to broaden my knowledge of volunteer management. So I really wish I probably had this foundational knowledge of volunteer management myself, so that I could give more to the participants. But then that didn't really matter towards the end, because I was able to get knowledge from the other facilitators. So that's
more experience.
Exactly. Okay, I would just say that if you have something in your mind that you actually want to do, just start. Just do it. Enough of thinking and overthinking about things. So basically, just do it. Start it today.
I thank you guys for watching. Please check out Volunteer Better on Instagram at Volunteer Better.